Welcome back, viewers, to List of Legends list, and on today's list we're going to be talking about the Family Guy movie and the possibility of a Family Guy and American Dad crossover. Now, both shows I would be down to see crossover, even though neither show is as good as they once were back in the earlier seasons. I still think if they execute it well, it could be a great crossover. I mean, they can't do worse than the Simpsons guy, but who knows? As always, before we begin, make sure to click that like and subscribe button so I know you like my content. Without further options, let's begin. First, let's talk about the possibility of Stan Smith from American Dad joining forces with Peter Griffin from Family Guy. So far, we've seen a pretty good idea of what a Family Guy and American Dad crossover would look like, since both shows are made by the same creator, Seth McFarlane. With that being said, we've seen a few instances in Family Guy of the whole family from each show interacting with each other. In the episode Big Fat, we see the Smith family has moved into Cleveland's old house, and they all are introduced to each other. I think the funniest interaction is when Peter comments how Roger is a weird dog, and Roger says he was going to ask the same thing, referring to Meg. Classic. Peter ends up finding out Roger is an alien, and Stan has to kill him so nobody else finds out. In the end, we learn it's just a dream of a dream, I guess, since Peter wakes up from a nightmare, only from Hank from King of the Hill to wake up as well. Weird. There are actually a lot of small interactions sprinkled out the whole series, but nothing close to a full-length crossover. So has there been anything said about a crossover idea? Well, yeah, in 2019, Seth MacFarlane has said in an interview, quote, "Despite the Flintstones meet the Jetsons, I still think it would be a good idea. I think that's very possible. I think that's your hour-long special right there. Call me when it's done." End quote. So yeah, Seth states how it's a good idea, and has said it would be an easy fit since both shows have some history. Overall, everything seems perfect while both shows being created by the same creator, both are very similar, and have done show references throughout its current run. However, there is one issue that would need to be resolved, and that is the network. While Family Guy is owned by Fox, American Dad is now airing on TBS. In late 2014, Fox announced that American Dad would soon be picked up by TBS, and currently that is where American Dad resides. So based on everything, the chances of a crossover is pretty slim in my opinion. And with the world state right now, the chances of it happening soon is even more unlikely. While I would love to tune into this crossover, it just doesn't seem all too likely. Even if it's so, it's still good to know we still get some show references. So we have something at least. In the end, never say never though. Now let's talk about Family Guy the movie. And unlike the American Dad and Family Guy crossover, this is a topic that has actually been confirmed. Again in 2019, in an interview with Seth MacFarlane, he says, quote, "We've been talking about this for 10 years. The Family Guy movie is still on my to-do list. I have a pretty clear sense of what it's going to be. I have for some time, but I just haven't gotten around to it." End quote. So while Seth does confirm it's happening, we don't know the details surrounding when and where it would take place. Seth also explains the difficulty of making a movie while doing the main show at the same time. I mean, if it took The Simpsons 18 years for a movie, that definitely makes sense. Although even with that being the case, it's still nice to know a Family Guy movie is happening, and it also makes sense given the show's success. So I don't see them simply just giving up on it. There's also been talk about the movie containing live action elements, which would be definitely an interesting choice. But hey, if that's the case, they can call it Robert Franzese, and I have no complaints. In terms of the plot, as Seth has said, he has an idea of what it's going to be about, and that's good to know. Now what it could be about, your guess is as good as mine. I really don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing even a movie about an American Dad crossover, rather than a special, as unlikely as it is. My guess is the movie likely won't come out for a while based on The Simpsons. The dome plot of the movie was amazing, and seeing The Simpsons go from being wanted to the saviors of Springfield is nothing short of magnificent. I could honestly see the Family Guy movie going down the same formula route. While the details of the movie is unknown, one thing is for sure is it's coming sometime down the road, and I cannot wait for its announcement. Alright viewers, that is the end of our list. Let me know what list you'd like to see next. With all that said, I look forward to seeing you with our next list.